All right, guys, I'm here with another Canna tip for you. So I have 5 key points to go over when you're negotiating for wholesale cannabis. I want to get started by going over the first tip. This is where you come out with your price and you start a little bit higher than the target price that you want to exit at, and leave room in there for negotiations. That way, when things heat up, you have some wiggle room, and then expect to work your way down. Considering that, if you outprice yourself, if you price it too high, the buyer might not even negotiate. It just might be like, you're crazy, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's a fine line about pricing. Case by case is what it is, but always start out a little bit higher than you want to end. Okay, next, I feel like the first person to say a price is not going to have the upper hand in the negotiation. It's almost like a delicate dance. You want to try to get the other guy to say the price first. Another one that I've learned naturally, and it's kind of something I've just instilled in myself, and I teach people that work with me: don't negotiate the price for the wholesale cannabis over the phone without seeing it. Maybe go set up a meeting, go look at the product, and then go see what the negotiations warrant. You don't want to jump the gun. It's a delicate process. Again, I've compared it in the past videos with speaking with girls. Like, you can't jump the gun and say the wrong things too quick, too fast. So you got to really time it out and feel out the scenario. Okay, so for tip number 4, if price reductions need to be made, you want to make sure that there's a concession being given. You don't want to just give them out willingly and easily. Ask for something in return, and maybe that could be a favor, and have them do something for you. Don't just willingly give it out, because also if you willingly give out the discount, it's going to show them that you marked it up to mark it down, and they're going to just ask for it every time. And finally, for tip number 5, if the negotiations do come to a standstill and you're really at a deadlock, usually what helps is to split the difference. So if you split the difference, you can really kind of get a little bit closer to both sides. And if the negotiations went down close enough, you're going to be pretty close to both sides anyway. So let's say if a buyer is saying, I'm only willing to pay $1,800 for this pound, and the seller saying my lowest is $2,000, the buyer saying, look, I can't go above 18, but I'll buy them all. Maybe the seller's like, I'm not going under 2,000. I got a list of other buyers that will come in and buy them at this, even if I got to sell it to 2 or 3 different buyers. You can kind of maybe come to an agreement and meet in the middle at that price gap, and maybe everyone's happy. Now the farmer doesn't have to deal with 3 other buyers. He can just get all his money that night and just be done with it. Or the buyer doesn't have to walk away from the deal and waste the time invested and start the search over again. It could be mutually appealing to kind of just agree to disagree, meet in the middle, and close the deal. All right, guys, that's it for today's Canna tip. Keep in mind, these Canna tips are designed for the wholesale cannabis market, and they're coming firsthand from direct experience and giving them out systematic approaches. And you can really see more of this in the content courses that I put out through the Hi Chris app.